I'll never forget the moment the sky broke loose above us 15,000 feet up, a storm raging so bad it felt like the world itself wanted to shake us out of the clouds. The first sign that something was truly horribly wrong wasn't the lightning or the turbulence or even the stall warning blaring through the cockpit. No, it was the silence thick, unnatural when the captain's head hit the console and he slumped sideways out, cold blood tracing a thin line down his face. That was when reality shifted. I was the co-pilot, Ryan Miller, third commercial flight ever, barely old enough to rent a car. And suddenly I was the last adult standing between a plane load of strangers and the ground screaming up to meet us. I remember my hands on the yoke sweating so bad I thought I'd lose my grip, eyes darting from blank instrument to flickering light, the panels hissing and stalling as if the plane itself wanted out. Mayday. Mayday flight 9821, captain's down, systems failing, request immediate vectors. I sounded steadier than I felt, but every syllable rattled in my chest like dice in a cup. Control told me try secondary autopilot, regain manual if you can. Yeah, easier said than done when you're dropping by the second. Alarms screaming, every ounce of training running for cover in the back of my mind. Meanwhile, in the main cabin, panic was contagious. People cried, prayed, grabbed for anything to hold. The luggage bins had all burst open. Oxygen masks dangled in a surreal, silent ballet. In 2F, Julia Anderson sat stiff as a board, her suit sharp, her eyes sharper, clutching her 6-year-old daughter Emma to her side. One of those moments where you don't know if you're a mother, a protector, or just another passenger praying to make it out alive. Except Emma wasn't panicking. She was staring at the storm through the window, quiet, clutching a little plush airplane while chaos roared around her. Then, in that small, strange bubble, she tugged on Julia's sleeve. "Mommy," she said, calm as a librarian. "I think I can help." Julia, distracted, brushed her off. But Emma had made up her mind. Unbuckled, slipped right past the flight attendants, trying desperately to keep order, and walked straight into the cockpit like she'd done it 100 times. I nearly jumped out of my skin when I heard her voice, tiny but clear. "I've done this before. I know what to do." I turned, half expecting some parent to come barging in behind her. But no, just this little girl, brown curls, gray hoodie, bare feet, the calmest eyes in the room. "You need to shift the aileron manually, reduce throttle there," she said, pointing straight at the panel I'd just been cursing. If it had been a grown man, I might have shoved him aside, but she was so sure, so specific, I just listened. So there we were, the two of us. I let her climb up, showed her the controls, and did exactly what she said. Throttle down, trim, stabilizer, left panel adjustment. At first, nothing happened, and my heart nearly gave out. Then slowly, miraculously, the wild descent eased. Altitude leveled. Heading stabilized. For the first time since the storm started, the plane responded. I exhaled, half laughing, half crying. I glanced at the instruments, then at Emma. She just smiled, shy, as if she'd found a lost toy under the seat. "I practiced on my mom's flight simulator," she said. "She made it for me. I've done this a lot." You ever feel the world tip sideways, like suddenly you're living someone else's life? Yeah, that happened. People started to notice. Crew members peeking into the cockpit, the air marshal standing slack-jawed at the door. I radioed the tower, manual control regained, assisted by a very small, very brilliant passenger. And let me tell you, there's nothing in the pilot handbook for how to explain that. But right then, I would have trusted Emma with my life. I did, in fact. "Okay, Captain Emma, let's land this bird," I joked, and she giggled, focused and unshakable. From the cabin, Julia watched her daughter, awe flickering in her eyes, her fear melting into wonder. The screaming died down. Passengers gripped their seats and stared, silent masks swinging, waiting for whatever would come next. In the cockpit, Emma and I worked together, adjust this check that lower the flaps, correct the heading. I moved on. Instinct, her voice in my ear, steadier than the storm outside. "Flaps full, throttle down, gear confirmed." she said, each step as calm as a bedtime story. We lined up for the emergency airstrip, a narrow ribbon of concrete between empty fields, blessedly clear, waiting like a second chance. Tower confirmed clearance ground crews on standby. Left correction 2 degrees, Emma told me. We straightened out. The wheels slammed the ground hard, then steady, skidding, slowing, until finally we rolled to a stop. For a second, nobody moved. Then, like a dam breaking, cheers and applause erupted. Laughter, tears, disbelief. I cut the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, this is First Officer Ryan Miller. We made an emergency landing. And it wasn't just me. A 6-year-old girl saved this plane. More cheers, more weeping, the relief almost painful. Julia rushed in, scooping Emma into her arms, her voice trembling. "I'm okay, Mommy," Emma whispered. "She's the one who saved us." I told Julia, but the words felt small next to what had really happened. After that, everything blurred. Paramedics, reporters, emergency lights, passengers pointing. That girl flew the plane. Julia led Emma away, clutching her close, while I stood alone, watching them disappear into the crowd, feeling like I'd been spun through a washing machine and left hanging on a line to dry. I caught up with them later by the terminal, Julia guarded, icy, not quite trusting. "You're the co-pilot," she said, as if daring me to say otherwise. I nodded. "I just wanted to say thank you, to both of you. Your daughter, she's remarkable." Emma ran up and hugged me like we'd always known each other. For a moment, Julia's mask slipped just a little, enough to see the relief and gratitude fighting with all the old walls she'd built. Days passed. The story exploded. Headlines everywhere. Miracle landing, child hero, Captain Emma. Social media went nuts. Praise awe. Then the backlash. Was this courage or child endangerment? Where were the adults? What kind of mother lets her kid in a cockpit? Julia tried to ignore it, but it got nasty. Paparazzi at the door. Emma pulled from school rumors and finger-pointing from every direction. One morning, Emma curled on the couch, plush airplane clutched tight, eyes wet. "Did I do something wrong?" she asked. That broke Julia in ways no storm ever could. She lashed out at me that night. "You should have stopped her. She's a child. I took it. I understood, but I told her the truth." She helped. She saved lives. And she did it because you taught her to believe she could. Julia wasn't ready to hear it. Emma overheard anyway. The next day, I went public on camera live, straight to the point. Emma didn't fly the plane alone. She wasn't endangered. She helped because she was prepared, because her mother raised her to think, to speak up, to try. I didn't know if it would change anything, but it did. People started listening again. "Thank you, Julia" trended for a while. The hate faded. The pride returned. Time moved on. Julia and Emma returned to something almost normal. I visited when I could, brought Emma a model airplane, fixed the leaky sink, shared dinners that felt like home. Julia thawed bit by bit. She started setting an extra plate without asking if I was staying. Emma, of course, loved every minute. We built cardboard simulators, read bedtime stories, flew paper planes in the backyard until dusk. One night, Julia admitted she hadn't always been so cold. After the divorce, after her business fell apart, she built walls to keep herself and Emma safe. I listened. I didn't try to fix it, just stayed present. And in the quiet, she let herself be a little more vulnerable. That was all it took. When I got promoted to a long-haul route months away, new cities, I told Julia. She nodded, steady but sad. "Don't forget," she said, "there's someone here waiting for you." I left. Before I did, Emma handed me a drawing. 3 stick figures, one in a pilot's hat, one in a tiara, one with yellow hair and a laptop. "For the plane," she said. I tucked it in my jacket. 2 months later, I came back. No big reunion, just a knock at the door, a smile, and Emma launching herself into my arms. Julia looked at me. "You're late," she said, but her eyes said welcome home. I moved closer, rented a house 2 blocks away, picked Emma up from school, cooked badly but enthusiastically let Julia laugh at my disasters in the kitchen. One afternoon, Emma burst in with a paper, Parent Guardian Ryan Miller. Julia kissed her on the head. "It's perfect," she said. And that's how it stayed. No labels, no declarations, just small moments building into something solid. On a golden Sunday, we sat in the park, Emma launching a paper airplane across the grass, Julia's head on my shoulder, her fingers laced with mine. "She's yours as much as mine," she said quietly. I couldn't answer for a moment, the lump in my throat too big. Emma turned, cupped her hands, shouted, "Let's fly again, Captain." And just like that, the story wasn't about surviving anymore, it was about living. As the sun dipped low, we stood together, Emma's plane soaring high on a gust of wind. Sometimes the safest landing isn't wheels on concrete, it's finding your way into someone's heart. So what would you have done if you were there that day? Was it courage, luck, or just the right people in the right place? Drop your thoughts below. Tell us what family bravery or community means to you. And if this story got you right in the gut or made you believe in second chances, don't forget to share, subscribe, and stick around. There's always another story where that came from, and who knows, maybe next time you'll be the hero someone needs.
Xin chào các bạn, mình là Trinh, mình phụ trách viết content. Trên đây là những công việc của mình là mình lên mạng xã hội tìm hiểu những video.
Alright. Thank you, man. Hey, if you guys have any trouble, let somebody know. Please.
After the tree to hold on to. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
the fence.